How are you guys doing? I am so excited. Ooh, look at Kendra with the blowout. I am loving it. It is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. I am really excited about today because today we are going to talk about being the portal. And so what it's going to do is take you from like what we talked about, what the first day we talked about, the other modalities, we talked about how they're not integrated and how it's, with nervous system regulation and strategy and all of these different things, they all siloed parts of you, right? And so we talked about how to actually bring all parts of you together so that you can walk as divinity on earth, so you can walk as God in human form, because that's what source intended as it sparked itself in each one of you. And so I am so excited. And then yesterday, or the call two, because we gave you some space so you can watch that call again, because that call was like, okay. Call two, we talked about the diva codes. We talked about each one of the codes, but we really dove into adaptability and the adaptability quotient, the adaptability intelligence. It's the intelligence that isn't talked about much. And it is because Fragile Fran is so celebrated, and you can't have a controllable society if you have a bunch of powerful, divine, feminine women running around with all of their power. So no, it is not talked about, but I gave specific examples utilizing your words on how to utilize voodoo to move through each one of these scenarios and situations. How are you feeling after that? Like, did you have any breakthroughs, any aha moments that came up? I know we had Kember cleared something just from our conversation that we had on the first day, cleared something that was there for 20 years. And I've seen her all over the internet, on TikTok and all the places. She's showing up in a way that was so different to what she was showing up before, because she was able to tap into all of her and shift out of her body the fear of expansion, the fear of moving, the fear of something new. So definitely drop in the comments any breakthroughs that you've had, things that are like awarenesses and ahas, because today is just going to be such an amazing day. Okay, so I first want to, you're going to love this, because I am going to show you something that I've been putting together for a while that I'm so excited about. And I haven't been this excited about a portal, about an experience in a long time. And the reason being is that this actually is the way I want to do it. It's how I want to do it. It's what I know is the perfect thing for you. And it's what I know is going to like support you and expand you in your world. Okay. And so is it okay if I share something with you that I know is going to impact you? And just you watching me, the way I am sharing it is also going to be helping you to anchor in, oh, this is how I get to share my experiences, and this is how I get to speak about them, and this is how more people get to say yes, yes, and yes. Are you open to that? Are you open to that? Let's see. Charlotte says, I realized my spirit guides who have not given me answers were waiting for me to step up and make the decisions and command. Exactly. Oh my goodness. Charlotte, there was a time that we needed to ask our guides for support, well, not support, but ask our guides for direction, ask our guides what direction do we go, ask all of those things, because we weren't aware of our own divinity. We didn't believe and trust in our own selves. We didn't. And so now, as you could see with the vibration rising higher, your spirit guides are like, we're partners with you. And so I'm not here to tell you exactly what to do in all the ways. Like, you already know. And so the spirit guides are like, direct me, command me, decide, let's go. Like, let's do it together. Like, let's go. And when you step into that energy, then you become less of, let me wait for my guides, and more of, let's go, guides. This is what we're doing. Boom, 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 boom. Like, isn't that super cool? Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So I love that you brought that up, because one of the biggest things, a lot of you brought up the fact that you haven't been like as bold or as big as you really want to be. And I thought about it and I was like, oh my goodness, that's exactly the thing that I was working on. And there was a part of me, and it was an ancestral piece, right, that I needed to clear, move through, and heal, so that I could allow myself to fully be seen and feel safe to do that. And it's everything that we were talking about in day 1 and day 2. And once I allowed myself, like once I decided that this is what I'm doing, and then I decided that I could shift the viewpoint of, visibility and fame and really being seen by hundreds of thousands of millions of people wasn't danger, and that my ancestors experienced what they did because I am supposed to do this, like this is what I was born for, it really shifted everything. And so I am so excited to share with you the WooDo Villa. WooDo Villa. Welcome to WooDo Villa. So WooDo Villa. Okay. Is that the coolest name or not? Like, I have to show you. You know what? I should show you guys. I was trying to, like, I was going to do a deck and all of this stuff, but I was like, you know what? Everybody likes to see my face. And do you guys like to see a deck, or you want to see my face? Like, I can give you a deck later, right? So, but let me show you. I want to show you the graphic, just because the graphic is so cool. It is so cool, and I really like it. You guys, can you see which graphic are you seeing? Are you seeing the WooDo Villa graphic? It's so cool. I love it. I love it. Well, basically, you can see it is for the divas, right? It is where you are going to build a global platform. You're going to shift a paradigm, and you are going to become the face of the New World era. Okay, I'm going to stop the share because we'll get you a deck later. But because I want to look at you while I'm saying this. How many of you have ever felt that you are so good at what you do, but you feel like you're the best kept secret? Like, you feel like, I am so good, my clients are getting amazing results, and people know, like when people come into my world, they love me. Yet I feel like the number of people that need to know who I am, it's not the number that it gets to be. How many of you have felt that? Yeah, Charlotte's like, me. I felt like that too. And I was like, no, like I get to go from best kept secret to something that a lot of us have been shamed for wanting, and that's being the spiritual celebrity. What I want you to know is that you get to be the spiritual celebrity, and not in the celebrity in the maybe Kim Kardashian sense, not in that sense, the sense that your movement, your framework, your method gets to be on the tongue, the tips of everybody's tongue. You get to go from best kept secret to spiritual celebrity, and literally become the face of the new world and out-billion the billionaires. How many of you want to out-billion the billionaires? I want to out-billion the billionaires. I love saying that. I love saying that. And so what happens, everything that we've talked about from the first call all the way till now, has been about you actually embodying the divinity that you came here to be. And when I talk about divinity, I call you guys divas. It's not just a cool thing. I love diva, right? I love that, but it's not a cool thing. It's just a cool name. It's because diva literally means divine. It literally means the divine one. And you are divas. And the divine feminine is anchoring here on this 3D earth. And in order for you to be a part of this anchoring, in order for you to be a part of this new divine feminine leadership, that's the new world order, you have got to feel safe and decide, well, we shifted safety. You've got to be the safety, and you've got to decide that you get to be seen by hundreds, if not thousands. Whatever your vision of like, I am being seen is. What is that vision? Drop it in the comments. And so I created WooDo Villa, right? Because you already have built something. You already have like something that that is everybody needs to see. And you've seen some success, right? But you're ready to go beyond 6 figures, beyond 7 figures. You're ready to like make global impact. What are some of the global impact, like some of the things that you want to change on this world, in this world right now? Some of you talked about being attacked online, and because of your viewpoints, or because you believe that women should have equal rights and equal power. Like, imagine if you were the billionaire, you would actually get to create situations and create communities and create places where women could thrive. How would that feel? Like, you already are leading, you're creating, you're holding space for everyone. But it is clearly time right now, for you to go beyond that, right? And really start to hold your, hold a space, like ground in a space, and move the power. Move the power. How many of you would like to be ready to be real instead of polished? Like, how many of you would rather be real and true instead of perfection? Right? How many of you want depth over like performance, over being palatable and light? How many of you want to embody the power, the supernatural power that you were born to embody, and wield it on the earth? Wield it in your programs, in your spaces, on stage. How many of you want your method, your way of doing things to be here, taught, utilized after you transition? Let me see. Charlotte says, I want to stand up to show that DEI, yes, is the best way to change the world, and with a new awareness and action. It is so true. And you know what? Companies know that. They know that they're better with diversity. And they know that they're better when there's a group of people walking hand in hand and working together. And that's why we need more voices out there to say, this is the way. This is the way. Let's see. Lauren says, I want to be the voices in the spaces where women feel unsafe to speak up, especially in the birth space. Yes, I want to show women they can be successful at work and in their spirituality, and switch to prioritizing their desire to having babies. Yes, 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 yes. You get to be safe. You get to be successful. You get to have the family. You get to do whatever you want. And they need more voices out there to say that. Like, you have been here, you've been doing the thing, but there's certain things that you probably have hesitated to post, that you've been nervous about, things that you haven't been as loud as you wanted to be. Maybe you were whispering instead of yelling your message, trying to be polished, trying to stay within the bounds. But you desire to stop shrinking. You desire to walk into a room and have your energy speak for you. You want to, and tell me, put some ones in the comments if this is what you want. You want to sell with no second guessing. You want to sell and not care about if it's too much or too often or too right. You want your work received, not needing to be over explained. You want people to be like, I want that. This is exactly, you're speaking my language. I hear you. And you want to be the person who moves as God, not just someone trying things. And so, what WooDo Villa is going to do, what we are going to do, is we're going to connect you back to your inner God voice, the one that you've been outsourcing to maybe other coaches or to strategy or to fear. I mean, say yes if you've done that. Yes, I've done that. Yes. We're going to remove the friction, the shame, all of those patterns that have kept you quiet, kept you spinning, kept you playing small. We're going to remove all of that. And we're going to get you in full energetic congruence so that your body, your voice, your soul move as one. And so this looks like bringing your divinity online in your human so that your decisions are clear, so that like your creation feels energizing, not exhausting, not resisting, and money flows from your power and your pleasure. How many of you just want to make money because you're having so much freaking fun? Like, I know, yes, yes, and yes. Put some yeses in the comments if that's what you want. Yes. And so you're not going to be chasing clarity because you are clarity. You're not going to be chasing all the things. You're going to start trusting what's moving inside of you. And so you pull yourself out of fear hangovers, or you're going to sell without no apology, no explaining. You're going to be like, this is it. This is what I got. How many of you, like, doesn't that feel so good? And then that means higher level clients. And we're not talking about like the clients have to have millions of dollars. I'm talking about the kind of clients who are like, this is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I desired. Because how many of you know that high level clients, high dollar clients, $1 million clients aren't ones that have $1 million. They're the ones who know this is what they want and they just say yes. That's the kind of clients who already know that what you got is what you're sharing is what they want. And so in order to like, I wanted to say that because there's so much information out there and people are like, well, I don't want to work with somebody who's just starting their business, or I don't want to work with somebody who's a low level client. Low level client to me means somebody who's not going to do the work. I brought one of my clients, I helped her go from $0 and now she hit 3 million. If I would have told her I don't work with people who just started their business, where would she be today? When you talk to who your clients get to become, when you talk to the person who has the same values as you, the same desires as you, that has the like that gumption and that desire deep in their heart, the devotion to bringing what they desire into reality, everyone who fits that mold can be your client. When I first signed up for I think it was $10,000 with one of my first coaches, I didn't even have a business. I hadn't made a sale. I used my corporate salary to do that. And so what if somebody would have turned me down because I wasn't a 6-figure client? Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? I'm being so honest today. I just want to be, can I be honest with you? Can I talk to you about the things that I am so done with people saying and doing? Everybody is valuable, whether you haven't hit your first $7. It took me so long to make a $7 sale. And then I finally made the $7 sale and it was like it was $7 billion. And then I made a $97 sale. And that felt so good. My sister, I was like, thank you. Yeah. But if someone told me I wasn't enough because I hadn't hit 10,000 or 20,000, like what? I have clients that are just beginning and I have clients that are in multiple millions and they're all have the same values. They all want the same thing in this earth. And that's what makes them my ideal client. And so what we're doing in WooDo Villa, the WooDo Villa, we're going to connect you back to your inner God voice. We're going to remove resistance and friction and shame that you placed on yourself, that has stopped you from trusting yourself, that has pushed you off, right, to thinking you need to look outside of you for validation. We're going to get you into your divinity, which means that you get to feel free, lighter, no longer second guessing yourself, no longer in fear, so that you can do what? How many of you want to put yourself out there like you've never done before? I know that's a yes for me. I want to put myself out there even more. And you guys are like, you put yourself out there a ton. I can always go bigger. Yeah. How many of you want to increase your income? Yeah. Yeah. And then how many of you want to sell in a way that feels so energizing and feels so good that you are leaning in and the clients are leaning in and they're like, I just did a whole, if somebody, Tasha, you were on that call, right? I just talked about lit selling and everybody was like, that was worth like $1,000. I need to sell it outside. But it's all about your energy. It's all about your turned onness. It's all about you being in your God frequency. God frequency. Kittia says, my biggest realization, thanks to the lit experience and now WooDo, I finally know which women I'm here to help. Oh my God, yay, Kittia. My vision is I help powerful women who have dimmed their light too far for far too long. This is so beautiful, Kittia. Yes, to break free from emotional abuse, step into nourishing relationships. And true self-leadership. This is huge. That clarity is really going to help you stand out. And by you knowing this, you know what that person is experiencing right now, and you're going to be able to speak directly to that. I love that. Love it so much. Oh my God. Okay. So, you know what? First of all, before I finish, I'm going to drop the link. It's application for WooDo Villa. If you apply on the call while we're talking about this, there is a special price just for those who are applying this weekend and on the call. Message me, DM me to let me know that you applied, because it's just so freaking amazing. The things that we're doing, next level. Okay, so what is so important is you're not new to this, right? You've been saying that you're done watching women get invited on stages or leading big rooms because you know that it's your time to join them. You know that there's enough opportunity out there for all of you. And you know you're building something so big that even thinking about the breadth of it makes you nervous. But that's only because you haven't grounded and expanded into the power. And so I know you deeply desire to feel the frequency in your body that makes you a magnet to money and features and miracles. And you want to be recognized just by being you. But you also want to take, and what has helped me to have the success that I've had is because I was able to take my spiritual knowledge, take all of the knowledge that I have, and I was able to make a method out of it. Because when you have a method, you can easily talk to people and people can put it in and say, oh, I understand what you do, and I know how you'll take me there. And so what we're going to do in WooDo Villa is help you take all of that and make it a method. And if you already have a method, we're going to make your method world renowned. How many of you want your method, want your way of doing things to be world freaking renowned? Like you want everybody to know your way. So everybody's saying, ooh, WooDo, I want to do that. WooDo this, right? You want everybody, your method to be like, oh, that's Charlotte's method. Charlotte does this. That's Eliza's method. That's Kittia's method. How many of you want that? That's Lauren's method. It's Tasha's method. And then how many of you want a space where you can actually practice your energetic power, your magic, and infuse your magic into your offers, infuse your power into your offers so that they are popping off like popcorn without you needing to pop them off? I did that with WooDo because I was just like, let me play and like send it off. And I dropped it on like a weekend, and there were, I think at that time it was like 40 people that it came in, and I was like, whoa, that was amazing. I was like, I need to do a lot of these magical methods. I called it the millionaire superpower, which is a lot of infusing energetics into your work, and it just draws people like flames. And I was like, why don't I do this more often? Well, we're going to do it, and we're going to do it in the villa. Okay. So, can I tell you what's included? I'm going to tell you what's included. Do you want to hear what's included in the villa? What we're going to be doing? Let me know. Drop it. Drop some yeses. Tell me yes. Okay. Because you want a legacy, right? You want a legacy that writes you into history so that you are one of the women who reshaped reality. You are one of the women who are the reason why we shifted into the 5D, why we've created heaven on earth, why frequency, faith, and full body knowing are just the norm. And this is truly where you go from being the best kept secret to being the spiritual celebrity, to being the person that they're like, Netflix documentary, but a good one, not the one where they're like talking bad about you. A good Netflix documentary. You're the one who they get to say, I want to bring her on this show because she is the person that needs to talk to. Like, I need Kittia to be on the show because Love Island, they need someone who's going to help these women fully own their power and not start giving up all the stuff, on the show like crazy. I need Kittia on Love Island. Like, I need you, Lauren, on this show about, helping women to birth these babies. And like, we need Lauren on this show. Like, can you imagine you on speed dial because some executive was like, I saw your video and you're the one? That is what is possible when you decide to lead with your frequency, when you decide that you get to be reposted, quoted, remembered, when you decide that you have a method that gets to do the work for you and becomes the movement, and when you decide that you are ushering in this divine feminine leadership and you're going to be the one in that world. Because you don't just lead a community, you are uplifting a collective. All right, so let's talk about what's included. Okay, WooDo Villa, it is a 6-month mastermind experience, okay? And what I am doing in this mastermind experience, I will just say I have paid $30,000 for this, and then I have also paid $25,000 for this. Like, it's crazy what I'm doing. But I won't even tell you the price yet. I'm going to make you wait. Okay. The first thing we're doing, of course, are what I call Diva frequency calls. These are bi-weekly calls that aren't just calls. They're not just Zoom calls. They're not just energetic, like just calls. These are going to be energetic calibrations, the value of which are $15,000. And so I'm going to read the room. I'm going to tune into your frequency. I am going to tune into it with precision. And so you get to come with your real-time momentum, whatever you're doing, launching an offer, crafting a message, something energetic coming up, right? Shifting your brand presence. And you get to leave with immediate clarity and the steps that you get to do next. We've been playing with this in some of my other containers, and we had 3 people leave with exactly what they were going to do. They knew exactly the steps they were going to take, and they went and did it, because it's going to also be about what? Movement. What have we been talking about? Movement, immediate movement. And so this is going to be where your nervous system aligns with your boldness, with you adjusting the price point, with you reworking, not from pressure, but from your power. And you become a woman who is aligned with moving fast, moving with the spirit within you, moving with the energy, leading from divinity and not hesitation. That is going to be good. Okay. So then we have the diva mind. So the diva mind is the value is $10,000 and it is the Telegram mastermind thread. This is the community-led Telegram mastermind thread that's not just a chat. It's not a chat. It's not just a chat. It is going to be a high frequency ecosystem. This is where you're going to, of course, share your wins. This is where you can share your spell work. This is where you're going to share celebration. This is where you're going to, share some riffs that move through you instead of sitting in silence. This is where you get to come back to resonance. It's where you'll get a behind the scenes viewpoint of what other leaders, because this is what it's for. This WooDo Villa is for other leaders like you, so that you're walking side by side by other leaders and you're not doing this alone. How many of you have ever felt like, I want somebody who gets where I am, like gets what I'm doing? I've been in so many masterminds and I have like gotten one nugget from people and it's like, and so this is where you're going to become the person who walks in the room and everybody in that room is also a spiritual icon, which makes you feel like even more of an icon. Then there are diva days. So the diva days, it's a value of about $10,000. The diva days are bi-weekly. There's Ask Me Anything coaching. So on the times when you don't have a call, there is a day in the month that I will be there with you asking me anything. I will respond throughout the day. And this is where magic, visibility, wealth, like anything that you have coming up, you get direct coaching, voice notes, and that will touch the entire room. How many of you have ever had some of my voice notes and they shifted something for you? It's real-time divination. And it is where you get to access divine intel if whatever you're doing in the midst of what you are experiencing. Tasha says yes. Okay, then there's the riffs. How many of you have been a part of my riffs, have seen the riffs, have experienced the riffs? The Diva Riffs are a private podcast feed, about $7,500. It is your private stream of raw things. I'm going to walk you through what I'm experiencing. You guys know, did I tell you guys that I'm creating a funnel? And this funnel, I am building it specifically to create $30,000 without me having, like, from things that I've already created. Like, and I am going to take you guys behind the scenes through that. What I am doing, what's happening. It's going to be riffs that I drop in the moment, things that I'm like, I hear you, I see you guys asking these questions, or I see you talking to each other. I saw this is what you can do. And these riffs they plug you back into the inner God voice. And they also reset your energy so that you can like activate your own inner knowing. And so what's super cool about this is, in addition to this private podcast, you also get access to La Lumiere. And La Lumiere is about to be rebranded too. Don't tell the ladies yet. It's going to be, but La Lumiere. So La Lumiere is where I leave 3 to 5 of these of riffs. You get more on top of that, but I get 3 to 5 riffs in La Lumiere, and they also get access to like all of the smaller micro programs. But you also get to have that, which means what has helped me. Can I tell you, I'm going to tell you, how are you guys feeling about this? I am so excited, by the way, but can I tell you what has helped me create a near $1 million business? And the trajectory is going even faster. And so I had a multiple 5-figure month last month. This month, it's also going to be multiple 5 figures. And let me tell you what happened. I used to be one of the ones that didn't plug into mentorship support for real. What I mean is that I would sign up for these things and I would do, I would do the things, or I would come on live, but I was kind of like behind the scenes. And so I decided the end of last year that I was going to plug freaking in. I'm like, I'm investing in this. And this year I've invested over $100,000, like in total. I'm in like 2 masterminds. I have other things. It's just, but it's helped so much. Like, guys, okay. And so what I do so I can stay in my frequency, right? I have my own frequency, my own channel that I'm tapping into, doing my riffs and all the things that I'm creating and embodying the work that I'm doing. But I also look at the celebrations. That's one place that I always go, because I like to see if I see this person celebrating $103,000 23-day period. That's my $103,000 20-day period. That's me doing that as well. So I intentionally go to the celebrations, and then I intentionally go to any kind of material that I know is going to activate me. And so with this, with the WooDo Villa, you not only have access to the private podcast feed that will be elevated and specific things that are going on behind the scenes that are going to help you, you'll also have access to the private podcast feed from La Lumiere, soon to become something else, which is super cool. Okay, next. Oh my God, there's so much. I'm going to tell you something very vulnerable. Can I get vulnerable with you guys? There's something that I'm including in this mastermind that changed my life. Oh my God, I think I'm getting teary. There was a time, was this 2023? Nope, 2022, into 2022, like around, let's say 2022, before the fourth quarter. I had a client situation, very difficult. I could do no right. She's since apologized. I have a story about that. I'll tell you guys that later. But I felt so down, and I just questioned my abilities. I questioned if I was any good. I questioned all of the things. Like I questioned like if I was even worth doing what I do. Of course, I never gave up, because I had devotion to this, and I knew within my heart that I was born for this. But I was watching a call like you guys are watching today, and there was a coach, and she, was very convincing, and I was like, okay, I'm going to sign up for this. And I said, I'm just signing up for this I was like, the reason why I'm doing this is to remind myself of who I truly am. So I go into this space, and she started these quarterly, they weren't quarterly, they were like every couple, maybe every 2 month mastermind experiences. And what these mastermind experiences were, there was probably about 150 or 200 women in there. We would break out into these groups, right? So groups of 10 to 15. And we would speak, we would have 3 hours. It was 3 hour long. And you would have about 15 minutes each. I can't calculate, but probably 15 minutes max. And what you had to do was do a give, which means you had to share something that was working in your business, something that you've done with your clients that worked. And then you also got to ask for, support if you had a question or things like that. And so I go in the first time. I've never done this before. I think this was the first time she'd done it. And I go in, I think the first thing that I taught might have been the personal energetic vibration identity method. I think that was the first thing. And so at the end, everybody votes for who they loved the most. And out of those groups, let's say there were like 10 groups, the best of, whoever wins the best of would go and present. And so you don't know if you won. It's a surprise. The leader of that group votes, gives the information to the leader of this group. And then they just call your name if you won. And so I'm sitting there. I was in a group with women that had made 10, 20 times more money than me. And so, everybody leads, and everybody has so much brilliance. Like everybody was so good. But I was sitting there, and guess what? I'm sitting there, and they're like, for group, and I think at that time it was like group 10. They were like, for group 10, we have Christine Michelle. And I was like, what? I had won out of all of those women the best of in that situation. And so I got to present to everyone in the group my personal energetic vibration method. It made such an impact on me to lead and present my work in front of a big group, but also to remind myself, what did I say I bought that for? Was to remind myself that I was freaking amazing. So fast forward, she did it 5 times. And guess who won out of that year 5 times? Me. I won each 5 times. And it made me know, especially in one of the things, I was in a group with a woman who everybody knows. I can't say her name because everybody knows her. She has like 300,000 followers. And I just knew, I was like, of course she's going to win. Like, of course. They called my name and I was like, and then the leader was like, how they started calling me Simone Biles of that group because they were like, you get the gold every time. But you see, it brought me back to remembering who the I was. I want to do that for you. I want to create a space where it's a mastermind, but it's not just me leading and talking. I want to give you the stage. And so in these quarterly masterminds, I want you to present your method, to teach your framework, to share it with the villa. And depending on the size, we'll break, in the beginning, maybe it'll be everyone presenting in front of everyone. As it gets bigger, we'll break it out into groups, but then the best get to present, right? Whoever's voted the best gets to present, but you also still get to present among your peers. Like, how many of you would want that? How many of you will want to spotlight your work in front of a group of people that are going to be your ideal clients? Like, every one of my clients have worked with each other. Every time I create a group, people work with each other. They collaborate with each other, which there's something else that's going to be specifically for that. Like, wouldn't that feel so good? Yes. And so, and not only that, there is going to be, I'm going to take those and then I'm also going to showcase you. I didn't even put a price point for that. I just put priceless. I want to do visibility spotlights and you can apply and say, this is what I want to share. And I want to be able to do like an IG series, an Instagram series, but also place it on my podcast so that you get to share your work with the world. Because this isn't just about me. You know how I created the Diva Collective? And I did that because the more we share each other and associate our work with each other, the more we are in that circular economy, the more we're lighting each other up, but also lighting the world up. How does that sound for you? Like, how does that sound? Like, it's just, oh my God, this is just making me so excited. I have tears because it really made such a difference for me. And so quarterly, it's a 6 months. So that means twice we'll do those breakouts, the mastermind breakouts. And one of the mastermind breakouts is going to be in person. I'm going to talk about that in a second. So you have the Diva Showcase, which means that it's where you'll be spotlighted. I'm thinking about creating either a Telegram group or just some kind of group where I can drop things and like spotlight my work. Because right now we have the Aligned Soul Collective, which is doing good. But I really were thinking about like creating like even a bigger Telegram group. You will be able to come into that group and share your work. And so this is people even outside of the villa. You'll get to share with everyone in the universe. We also have the Diva Stream that's over $10,000 on demand, classic Aligned Soul programs, and the new programs that I'm going to create. So all new programs during your stay in the villa, you have access to. Anything that's not a mastermind or really, really close proximity support, you will have access to. And so it's to help you not to, like, this isn't just so you can like have more information and more content, right? This is really to energetically rewire you, break cycles, build momentum. It's so that you can plug in when you need and plug out when you don't. It really is new classes, new riffs, new multidimensional transmissions, really for you to be on the leading edge of consciousness and not so you can learn. It's really so that you can embody everything as I'm bringing it in. And so, do you want to hear about the in-person VIP day that we have going? This is something new. I did it with the legends. How many of the legends are on the call? The legends that went to the in-person travel with Christine. We had so much fun. We're going to do a Villa in-person VIP day. And what it is this is going to be red carpet. This is going to be in-person group. This is going to be you and the fellow icons. And we're going to do the mastermind experience in person. Imagine standing up, being filmed, talking about your method, talking about what you do, talking about the thing that has made a difference in your life in front of a group of people. How many of you want to do that? You know, we're talking about like rooftop activations. We don't call it the WooDo Villa for nothing. The reason why I named it the WooDo Villa is because that is so me. And it's that spiritual celebrity vibe, because I know that you are the person who gets to be seen all the places. Okay, look. I'm really excited. Okay. How many of you want to know how much? How many of you really are like, how much does this cost? She said the Villa is $15,000 experience. The new programs are $15,000. She's talking about the calls of $20,000. All of these things. Are you excited? Do you want to know? Do you want to know how much this 6-month mastermind is going to be? And for you this weekend, I'm going to tell you what it's going to be when I launch it to the public. When I launch it to the public, it is going to be $6,000. Pay in full. $6,000. With payment plan of like 1111, right? So one person, like you get to start for 1111. But for you, because you are here and I haven't launched this to the public, this is the pre-sale. Pay in full, $5,000. $5,000 for 6 months of the WooDo Villa access, all of the features, the priority spotlight, everything for $5,000. Tell me that's not crazy. And there's a payment plan, which means that you can get started today. You can get into the villa and get the bonus of source coded, which is the mastermind that starts next week, 8/8, for $888. 6 payments of $888. I was like, am I crazy? Am I crazy? But I wanted to make it so flexible, and I want it to be the easiest thing, easiest yes in the world. Now, the $888, 6 payments, and the $5,000 pay in full, that is only good until Sunday. So if you're interested, apply. You have to apply by Sunday morning so that I can get you in before that. So click on that link, get into the application, apply it, and then message me to say I applied, because that locks in the special price for you. And then starting on Monday, when I really like launch this to the public and all of these things, it will go to the 1111. How many of you are feeling so good? Like, how many of you are thinking like, oh, this sounds like something I want to do? Like, because you've helped other people rise, and now it's time for you. It's so time for you. So click and apply. And even if you're like, I'm not so sure, I'm looking into other payment options that would take that $5,000 and make it into really small payments for you. But I just have to look. There's a couple of places that I've been looking for you if the price point is something that's tight. And so there's just apply, because the application is shifting you into an identity. It gives, the questions are so good with you getting clear on where you want to go and what you want to do. And so definitely click and apply, because it will like clarify like what you want to do next. So how many of you are going to apply? Like, definitely put in there, apply. I see some hearts. I see some yeses. Yes. Okay. Can we talk about the portal? I want to talk to you about, like, we've spent the last 3 days talking about the truth of expansion. And so what I want to do is to show you one of the biggest things we're going to do in the WooDo house. We're going to do 4 portals. And so I want to talk to you about what those portals are, and so that you can really feel it. because I know you're ready to be visible. I know you're ready to sell from your soul and feel like a superstar. Like, I know you're ready to turn your frequency into a business model. How many of you are like, yes, yes, yes? You want your message to flow like spell work, so that every post, every reel, everything, people are like, me, yum, 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 eating it up. Do you want that? Put some yeses in the comments. If you're like, yes, I see some claps, I see some yeses. Okay. So, what you get to do is, when you are embodying the divine diva, what about the diva codes, right? You had decision, influence, the vibration, the visionary acceleration, right? You had the adaptability, the water. And so when you're embodying that, this is the beginning of you embodying heaven on earth, because you have the ability to move money. I used to call my client, I told my client, I was like, you get to print money. I was like, you get to pull money out of the air like it's like nobody's business. And now $3 million later, she's like, I do. Okay. You also want to lead when we talk about the 5D and bringing heaven on earth. This is why this is a big focus for me, is because you're going to be leading with love, but not from a space of fear. Not the love that I can only be loved because I'm afraid of what people are going to respond to me, or let me love conditionally. This is unconditional love, but it's unconditional love with power. And so what you get to do when you're bringing heaven on earth, right, as heaven on earth, is you're going to experience instant manifestation. How many of you have done Sugar Baby? Sugar Baby is one of the programs that you get to receive in WooDo Villa. We taught instant manifestation, right? Moving through fear, allowing worry and fear to be your fuel. Can you imagine, what would you be doing right now if worry and fear were your fuel? If worry and fear was your fuel, what would you be doing today? It's crazy. When we start doing that, when we start deciding that we are the portal through which everything flows, then you're like walking into a room and every person is looking at you before you even speak. One post will activate $25,000 client you didn't even know. You'll like collapse launch time from like 4 weeks to 72 hours. And that's because you become the portal and your nervous system is supporting every step you make, because you are divinity in motion, because you are moving with the energy. So when you look at the portal that I like to call it, I'm calling it the celebrity vortex, just because I know that you guys want to be seen. You want the visibility. And even if you don't want millions of people, you would love, how many of you would love thousands of people buying a digital product or buying something from you that's going to change their life? And so if you, to do that, you become a celebrity to them. You become someone that they celebrate and that they look up to, that they see that is doing something that they have always wanted to do. This is the celebrity vortex. The core portals of the WooDo Villa is where you embody your divinity. You walk as God in human form and you build that movement that's reshaping the world. And so, what are the pieces of this portal? The first piece is the frequency. Frequency built visibility. And so, what does that look like? When you rewire your nervous system so that being seen doesn't drain you, but it fuels you, you start to teach your body how to move with more visibility, more attention, more influence, without needing any burnout situation, any sabotage, or any hiding. That's heaven on earth. Like that's heaven on earth. Like, how would that feel for you? Because the reason why this matters is because you are invisible, or not as visible as you want to be, because not because your message isn't powerful, not because even your messaging isn't great. It's because your system hasn't expanded to calibrate to move the global visibility yet. And so what you get to do is start to expand with the thought of thousands of people seeing you instead of contract. And so what we're doing in this frequency portal, the frequency built visibility, is to calibrate your field to your inner God voice. Tell me some of the things, like, I want to hear from you. What are some of the things that you think of when you think of having thousands of people in your program, or when you think of having thousands of people listening to your work? What are some of the things that you're like, I am not so sure? Because imagine if you could have major brands see a post of yours, book you for an interview. You'll get called into collaborations. Lauren says, I immediately feel energy surging around. Now, what you do right now with that energy is where you either move it or you try to hold it, and then it creates a collapse. So when the energy is surging around, this is what you do. This is the WooDo piece. You expand into it and put don't make it mean anything. So what I have seen, a lot of people will feel energy surging around them, and they'll associate that with, I'm afraid, or, oh my goodness, there's so much energy. What do I do? And so then they'll close up a bit, and that doesn't allow them to be open to the thousands of eyes and the people that are coming. So what you get to do is, instead of closing up, pull back. I want you to open up, like physically. Lauren, I want you to open your heart, open up, open up. And I want you to say, wow, it feels so good to be seen. This energy, I get to aim it at what I'm doing. I get to aim it at the situation. Press the gas. There's no pulling back. You see, you said you already feel yourself coming back, trying to contain it. You freaked out. Exactly. No, the frequency built visibility means when this happens, you get to come into the chat and say, okay, somebody just shared me and I'm kind of freaked out. Now you get to close your eyes and open your heart physically, like open your body, because it's going to, and show yourself that you are capable of walking with this and holding it. Open your arms. I receive. See, how do you feel now? Like, are you still freaked out? Like, position your body to be open to receive this. Because when you use WooDo to retrain your nervous system for visibility, then you'll magnetize the features, you'll magnetize the reposts, you'll magnetize the interviews and the opportunities. Yes, that feels so much better. And immediately as you felt it, you shifted what story you were going to tell. This is in the moment, in the moment. Are you guys, don't you guys love, I love the way, okay, I have been in a lot of embodiment experiences. Sometimes they don't make it as practical, so you can't put two and two together. But right now, we just shifted that in your body immediately. It feels better. You've already told a new story. Oh, this is the millions. Like, what if the story is these thousands of eyes are the people that are praying for me? I am the answer to the prayer that they were asking. My method is the answer to their prayers. And by me being open and continuing to share it and continuing to press the gas and continue to go forward, I am being the answer that universe placed in their field to the prayers that they asked. But if I did this, I am not answering their prayers, and their prayers are going to go unanswered, at least by me, and they're going to have to go to someone else. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? This is where in the frequency portal, right? This is portal 1, a part of WooDo. That's where your frequency becomes your marketing. And so instead of this, you get to imagine thousands of people. There's thousands of people. There's hundreds of people that are going to watch this. Oh, you're going to breathe. And in the moment we just shifted you, you are now ready for thousands of people. Your embodiment speaks louder than any strategy ever could. And this is where, in this portal, this is where you'll learn to get featured, reposted, quoted, spotlighted. How many of you were like, yes, freaking yes? Ah. All right, let's go to the next portal. The next portal is the method-led positioning. I gave you a little bit of this earlier. How many of you have a method? Charlotte's like, yes. How many of you have a method? Like you have a method. You know that you know what you do when your clients come into your world. But does the world know your method? Okay, so you have several. I have several too. But do you have that one all-encompassing that everybody knows you for? And it doesn't have to be like, for example, WooDo has probably 10 different frameworks underneath it. But when everybody talks about woo and the do, everybody thinks of me. WooDo, Christine. But that also includes the Aligned Soul Alchemy. That includes, the PEV method. Yes, you say, no, they're very complicated. See, this is where we're going to take all of the beautiful methods that you have, and we're going to create a house for it. We're going to create a branded house for your methods that everybody's going to be like, that's Charlotte's method. All of the different things that you do that are very complicated get to be under one house. And then you have one name for that experience. And everybody's like, I need to go for that. Like, I need to buy, I need to be in her world. I need everything that she does. And then they get to learn and utilize all of your methods. Because when you can place a portal, a house around that frequency, yes, simplify, you translate your method and your magic into a recognizable form, which means that everybody starts to, you take yourself out of the market and you become a category of one. How many of you want to be a category of one? Without this portal, your brand will stay inspirational, but very undefined. Kitty is like, me, yes. And people feel your power. They already do. Your clients already get results. You guys are so amazing at what you do already. People love your content, but they forget the name of what they're doing. But if you have a method and you position yourself as the unforgettable, you become referred for that method. And so this is about turning your genius into something that makes you even more magnetic, makes your company even more magnetic. Tasha's like, yes. Lauren, start saying the name of your method. Start creating content even around the method. Like my client did WooDo and then blah, blah, blah. People are now like, they saw my post and they're like, oh, she's WooDoing. I talked about my client WooDoing while she was walking her dog and she made $35,000. There are so many people. If you start watching the industry and looking at the very, very successful people, they've created a method. They've created something that they're known for, and it doesn't box them in because all of the things that they're known for are underneath that. We can have different frameworks underneath a method. And so it's not about fitting into a niche. You're becoming a niche. You're becoming the niche. You're becoming the category. You're becoming one that everybody goes to. And so me, I could have said, divinity, and then I do embodiment, and then I do this, and then I do that. But I'm like, no, what do I do? And that's when I was like, WooDo. Like I've been talking about the woo plus the do for what, 13 years? Let's see. I don't, as you said that, a coach came to my mind. Exactly. See that, say a name, a method. Okay, so let me think of some methods. If we think about like body talk, that's a method that's from Sheena Raskin. If we think about the alpha fem, right? That's a specific method that you're taking the alpha and the fem, and then there's multiple different ways to do that within that. But alpha fem, that's the method, not just the brand. It's calling forth the women who are the alphas and the fem. What else? Let's think of some other ones. Ooh, movements. There's Bridget James Lynch, she's Freedom Queen, right? They do movements. So high, what do you call it? High value movements, high ticket movements. When I think about high ticket and movements, I think Bridget. And so just think about like how powerful it would be if you could put a beautiful portal around your method. And then everybody is speaking to you and say, I want somebody that does this. When you think about someone, you know what they do. Tasha is the most highly recommended copywriter. She's also a messaging expert. If you go to Alpha Femme and somebody says, I need a copywriter, you will see her name talked about like 18 to 20 times. What is going to take that to the next level is when Tasha gets known for the messaging and the copy and her method. In addition to being the most sought after copywriter, she'll become the most sought after messaging expert as well because of the method that we're creating. And this method, the way you create a method, it's not the way I created mine. It's not going to be Tasha's, is going to be different. When you stop doing things the way other coaches do it, or other mentors or other entertainers or whatever, doesn't matter, whatever industry you're in, when you stop doing it like your colleagues and say, I do it this way, and this is why I do it this way, guess what happens? You stand out and you all start to do it in your own way. Like Charlotte says, I have so many different methods, and I know I might be complicating things, but there are certain ways that you do things that no one else does, and certain ways that you help to create impact for people that no one else can. And when you can speak to that and speak to it, this is also going to create certainty. How many of you have listened to the certainty audio? Some of you are in La Lumiere, so you have those certainty audios. The certainty audios are next level. Imagine your certainty when you know this is my method, this is what I created. Like when I was talking about WooDo, like I know it works. I know clients have gone from 0 to multiple millions. I know people have healed relationships with their families. I know the higher self to higher self method that's within WooDo. I know that works. Why? Because I've had people come and say that they were in therapy appointments and their husband said exactly what they said during the higher self conversation. All of these methods, all of these frameworks that I have taught, you're going to learn those in WooDo Villa. I know that they work. Okay, I could go about method for hours. Let's talk next. How many of you are so spiritual? You know you have magic. You know that there are things that are in the unseen world that you can call upon. You know that there are so many things that are beyond what we can see, hear, smell, taste, or touch. The next portal is the magic-powered monetization. It is turning your infrastructure for wealth, like turning your field into an infrastructure for wealth. This means you're using WooDo to collapse timeframes, to sell without, needing a super long launch period, to build offers that feel like spells and they're exactly what the clients want and exactly what they said on their tips of their tongue. And this matters because you've done programs that taught you how to write content. You've worked with teachers and coaches and you've done their methods. You've done all of those things. But when your work starts pulling in money and pulling in people and pulling in results without requiring your willpower or strategy, then you have more power. I've had people use a lot of my methods and use a lot of the frameworks that I present in WooDo Villa, and they've shifted things. They've made money in the middle of grief, middle of breakups. They've had people speak their words and they were just doing telepathic conversations. And I was like, there's so many things. They've pulled energy into their sales pages, and then all of a sudden things started to hit. They've infused their energy into emails, and when their number of email opens just started to increase. Don't you want to be able to use and move energy in a way, and not just the conventional way? I'm in so many masterminds and I love them, but most of them, it's very conventional. Like, I don't hear anybody saying, Christine, imagine, the thousands of people and aim that power into your sales page. Does anybody tell you to do that? No. But I am. Because I want you to build your offers, your programs, and create like world-changing artistry, utilizing your divinity and your power. And this means shifting timelines, deciding what gets to happen, quantum leaping. I'm the quantum manifestation queen. This means opening channels of wealth through like timelines, through divine intelligence, through rituals that you'll be able to create your own. I mean, scent anchoring. There's so many different things that take our grounded human body and bring in the magic. And then you can move and wield this power in ways of knowing that this is working for me. I sent the magic out. I'm going to go take a nap, or I'm going to go sit with my friends. And I've had clients manifest collaborators. They've had cash come in at crazy times. And it's because they decided that they were the power. How many of you want that magic infused, powered your monetization, like utilizing it to also move yourself through and increase your audience size and start to see, your clients and people reading your content and being like, girl, what happened? You changed. This is amazing. Okay. Portal 4. This is the last portal. This is the portal that I love. This is the portal that's based on divine feminine and the circular economy. Celebrity collaboration engine. How many of you can take everything that I'm saying in each one of these portals? If you take your notes, you can go and implement this without WooDo Villa. The last piece is something that you can take today, right now, after this call, and really blow up your business, your visibility, your audience in a good way. The celebrity collaboration engine, it is putting you into a field of powerful women, which will not only amplify your voice and your presence and your reach, it's going to amplify their voice and their presence and their reach. This isn't about networking. This is about true collaboration. And that is why a big focus in WooDo Villa is connecting the connectors, connecting each one of you to each other. I was in a portal, and the reason why I came in is because this coach was like, yes, because you can find your clients here and your friends and all the things. It's going to be so amazing. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is great. So I go in, but then as it started to grow and get bigger, she was like, yeah, but we don't want like no emails to each other, no like text and telegrams, and no connecting with each other outside of this. And I was like, but that's the focus. Like, I want to create a space where the people that are a part of this mastermind go and do summits together. Like, I want to create a space where you're like working together and like doing an in-person event together, or an actual course together, or you're like, oh my goodness, this would be so fun. Let's collaborate on even beyond an Instagram live. Maybe you do a podcast together. Like, Don't you want that kind of experience? This is going to not only, you will not only get to connect with an audience of people that may not know who you are, but there are going to be people that are ideal clients within that audience as well. And for you connecting with that person, both of you are going to expand your network instantly. You'll double your network instantly just from connections with each other, just from spotlighting each other. I just did a live stream with the astrology lady. So amazing. I think I think she's got like 4 or 5,000 people on her Instagram. I have like 3 to 4,000, maybe 39,000, 3,900, 3,900, 4,000. My group number of people grew so big, and I had people sign up for this just because we were on an Instagram live together. I just learned so much about her audience, and her audience loves astrology. They're woo. They love woo and the do, and they were like, we love you. So imagine if you started to place yourself into spaces and connect with people genuinely, and then offer, like, you want to bring something to the table and then let them bring something to the table, so it's something that everybody can benefit from. And so I want to create a space where that is the intention. Everybody's collaborating with each other, connecting with each other, like assigning you two, go, you're good together. Like, you need to go do a live together. You guys should create something together. Like, just really like a connector. I'm a connector. I know I don't teach human design anymore, but I'm a 4/6. I'm a connector. And so imagine you walking with iconic divas. Like, there's no price point for this. You are walking with people in your own right. What can you do today? Who do you know in your own community right now that you're like, I really would love to talk to this person. I would really love to just do a live. I would really love to talk to them about this aspect of their business, and I would love to give them the stage, or I would love to share a stage with this person. Do you have one person? Put it down, because what I want you to do, and what we're going to do in the WooDo Villa, is that we're going to create a list. And this list of people is like, okay, these are people that maybe there's people that you're like, I don't know if they would want to work with me. Put them on your list. This person, okay, I know this person, but I don't know. Put it on, it doesn't matter. Put the list together and then reach out from your heart, bringing something to the table. You don't want to just, hey, I want to be on your podcast. No, you'll say, hey, I have an amazing audience and they would love to hear about what you have, blah, blah, blah. How many of you are going to do that? How many of you are going to do that homework? It changed my world. It is the reason why I have so many new people in my world, because I did this. This is a big piece about, if you want to be known and you want to be seen, you get yourself in front of an audience that you do not know. It is easy to stay in front of the audience that you know because it's very comfortable. But when you get in front of an audience that you do not know, you feel that edge. And the WooDo Villa is all about you getting beyond the edge, continuing to push your edge. Because what? Expansion. How many of you are picking up what I'm putting down? Tomorrow, did you guys, did we have a bonus call tomorrow? Bring your jammies, your coffee, be in your pajamas. I'm going to do Q&A. We're going to talk about some other things that are really cool about expanding and moving frequency and the identity that moves that. It's just going to be so good. So how many of you are going to connect with someone? Let's see. And you are so far away from Denmark. I know I am, but I love Denmark. But guess what? You're going to be like, okay, imagine this. If we did, let's say you're a part of WooDo Villa and you're, 2 months in, you're at like $20,000 months. and everything is flowing for you. Are you taking a flight and coming to Florida for the in-person experience? And it'll be in January, I think. I'm thinking January is going to be the best time. I don't have it. I see yes, hearts. Yes, yes, yes. So I always, and who knows, maybe I'll be in Florida. I mean, maybe I'll be in Europe. Let's see. I would need flight tickets for all the people on my list. You know, guys, we have Freedom Queen Live 2 coming up in November. I am going to be creating a nice experience for everybody who's coming with me. But so never think that things are too far away. Just say, okay, this is the shift. We're going to do the WooDo shift right now. If I feel, oh my God, it's so far away, like this, like flying there or doing this or investing in this, it feels far, but I do feel a pull. What we get to do is say, shift the viewpoint. Okay, is it that it's too far, or am I thinking from my current identity versus thinking from my most expanded universe blow my mind identity? Because the me who's creating $20,000 months, $30,000 months, does that version of me have it fly? Probably fly private. Yeah. Okay. So who do I need to be? Like, if I'm that version of me, what do I do? How do I show up? Because I know that it's possible for me. And then for Lauren, she's got flight tickets for all the people on the list. Okay. Me, $40,000 a month, me, Lauren, I bought all the tickets. It's easy. Because I make $40,000 cash every month. I got everybody tickets. I got a villa. I got the best Airbnb in the whole state or in the whole area. It's so sexy. And I'm gonna bring everybody here. I'm also gonna invite my clients, and then they get to pay me for a VIP day while I'm traveling. So I get even paid to travel. They're gonna meet me where I am, and then for 4 hours, right? Pay me $2, $3, $4, $5,000 for 4 hours. And so now I've made $20,000 just because I decided to book this trip. How many of you are picking up what I'm putting down? Are you feeling me? Each of the portals that I talked about, they work because they are built from the body. So it's not going to be from the mind. It's built from the body. And so when you join WooDo, these portals become your reality, right? You're not going to try to feel safe anymore. You're actually going to start being known. Actually, you're going to stop marketing offers and lead from movement. You see, well, I like clients in Florida. Wouldn't that be okay? So think about it. You have clients in Florida, or just clients that would fly to Florida just to be with you. Imagine that. Like, I just want to take us out of, like, because if we think about a square, right? We're in the square. If we think, I have clients that would fly to Florida, how would that feel? Like, yes. So, all right. So I want to just reiterate with you, the way you start to move as God frequency, right, is when you decide that you are divinity in this body, and that when you decide it's done, that you influence the elements and the world with your movement and your decision, that your vibration is the vibration that shifts the entire world, that time has no bounds on you because you have a vision and you can accelerate that vision at any time and any moment. And that you can adapt to anything in the moment as you move, because you are so powerful. You are the divine feminine. And these last 3 calls, 5 days, you know in your heart that you're not meant to just be another coach, another voice, another brand. You are a portal. You are a leader that the world will remember forever. You are someone who is changing the face of the planet. You are anchoring in heaven on earth just by remembering and insourcing and coming back to the fact that you are source, spark, and you've been placed on this earth to walk in your human body as God. You are the divine diva. You are the portal. You are the leader that the world will remember. Because you decided, because you said yes to yourself, because you said that I get to expand. Because when you felt, oh my goodness, 1,000 people, oh my goodness, that feels constricting. Oh my goodness, I feel a little scared. When you, I am deciding that I can walk with this. I am deciding that this was made for me, that I am the answer to their prayers, that I was placed on here so that I could work and create this for my people. And I'm never going to say no. How many of you are never going to say no to your vision? Never going to say no. You get to have those visions. You get to have exactly what you want, because you wouldn't have that vision if it wasn't already done. All you need to do in this reality, in this timeline, is say yes. 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 And so I'm excited. Tomorrow, like I say, you get to come. You know, if you're going to be asleep, you get to relax. It's going to be early in the morning. I think it's going to be the same time this one started, which was 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be chilling, probably won't have makeup on. I'm going to be relaxed. And I want you to bring your questions. I want you to bring your movement. Like, we get to do anything. It is going to be a mastermind type call. I'm also going to start off with talking to you about the identity, and we'll talk a little bit about the PEV method and how to integrate this identity and walk in that, what that looks like, how your life shifts because you're embodying this identity, this leadership, this divinity as a leadership core value. It's going to be so good. And it gets to be chill because it's Saturday, and I never do anything on Saturday. So I'm looking forward to it. How many of you are going to come live? Got to come live. What we did over the last 5 days is a shift that will change you forever. You have access to these videos forever. I'm not the type that's going to say, oh, I'm going to take this away from you and you got to pay this money. No, you signed up, all 100 plus of you, for free. You gave me your time, your heart, your energy. And so this is yours forever. And I'm going to eventually make this paid. So you have this 5-day program. We'll have an extra bonus day tomorrow, Q&A, mastermind style. I want you in the answering the questions too, and giving your opinion on helping others, so that we'll make it a mastermind style so you can feel what it is to be in a mastermind with me. And then we're also, like I said, going to give you the transmission to talk about leadership. And so I'm looking forward to this. I cannot wait. I will see you tomorrow. How are you feeling before we go? How are you feeling? I'm going to hopefully get this replay out to you very fast. We're going to try. Last night it took forever. All right. Yay, you feel amazing. Okay. I cannot wait to get this to you. If you have any questions about WooDo Villa, any questions about what we're going to do, what it looks like, I don't care. Whatever questions, message me so that you can apply and lock in the $888 rate for the next 2 days, because the $888 is going away for everybody on Monday. It's going to be 11/11 on Monday. And so definitely message me. Let's say thank you. This has been amazing. Yay! right. And hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow because it's going to be so chill, so amazing. I want to be able to support you. Charlotte, bring your, like you say, I have all these modalities. Let's talk about them. Let's talk about what you get to do with this modality. And we get to have fun. Okay. I might play some of my clients' videos. Do you guys know that I was in a documentary for my client? She walked through her $1 million year. It's really good. I'll have to get some of these videos, like break some of the videos of me talking on that documentary. It's really good. So anyway, I love you so much. I'm excited to see you tomorrow on the bonus call, and we will just apply. It doesn't matter if you just apply, put yourself in the frequency of I'm doing this, apply. Okay. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.